135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right. So why people even talk like he the best at? He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30, or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you? All that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you going to get hit. What you going to do when you get hit?
So after Shakur Stevenson fought Edwin De Los Santos, it started to raise a lot of questions on whether or not Shakur Stevenson is really ready for the big leagues. You know, pretty much. Can he take a punch? Is his chin suspect? So that's really questionable right now, because that is kind of what Shakur kind of brought it on himself, because he himself said he doesn't really like to get hit. He doesn't like dudes with power. He fights them much differently. This is an admittance of Shakur himself, you know. And so you heard Tank pretty much say, he said this before Shakur even got to 135. He said, listen, all that boxing and all of that shit is all well and good, but you gonna get hit eventually at some point in the fight. What you gonna do then? Pretty much saying, man, if I fight this dude, I'm gonna knock his head off. That's what that translates to when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis. Now we saw how good Shakur Stevenson was able to move in that ring against De Los Santos. Early on in that fight, in the first round, I believe De Los Santos hit him with this left, and you saw Shakur's head bounce all the way back. Maybe that was right there at that point. Shakur realized he didn't like that power, and he started to fight a little bit more different. Because if he didn't get hit like that, chances are Shakur probably would have been standing in the pocket a little more. We would have saw a different fight. So that goes to show you, though, as good as Shakur's defense is, he still is going to get hit. And I agree 100%. Tank Davis was right. You can box and have all the best defense, you eventually are going to get hit. We said that about Floyd. Floyd was one of the greatest defensive boxers. He got hit. A few fighters hurt Floyd in the ring, but it's about how you handle it. And Floyd was noodle legs against Shane Mosley, but he shook it off. He weathered the storm, and he came back for the win. Now, we have never seen Shakur get hit flush. Now, I made some videos in the past, and I said it's either his defense is just that good where he may never really get hit flush, but in order for him to never really get hit flush, you are going to have to see him in fights just like a De Los Santos fight. It's going to be fights like that all the time if you're going to not see him get hit. But if he's more relaxed and plants his feet more, he's going to get hit. And that's when we'll get to see everything we need to see. He didn't get that shot off fully on De Los Santos. Didn't really get that a good placement shot on Shakur like he was supposed to, because Shakur was moving in a backward position. But if Shakur had his feet planted, he would have felt that punch. He probably would have been hurt bad if it wasn't for his defense. So you got to give Shakur his credit when it comes to his defense, man. You know, here's my thing. A lot of people, they want to see Shakur stand there and get pummeled on because they want to see a battle. There's different kinds of battles. You got to fight your battles the way you see fit. At the same time, Shakur's still gonna have to take risks, because it's gonna be times now, moving forward, bro. Judges might think a little different and start judging him and like keeping a hawk's eye on him now for his performances. So he's gonna have to be more in the pocket. He's supposed to have the IQ to know when it's time to get out, when it's time to get in. He can't fight the same way he fought De Los Santos every fight moving forward, because it's going to be the same results. It's going to translate to people that want to see him fight, and he's not going to be a commodity. Nobody's going to want to sign him, and the fights is going to be hard to book. You know, so Shakur's going to have a lot. Shakur got a lot of things to sit and think about, bro, because none of us is in the ring with Shakur. He's the one that got to go in that ring and fight. But he got to also realize he's a prize fighter too, and this is his career. So he gotta be somewhat. He has to be entertaining, but he has to be smart about it at the same time. So he got to know how to balance it out. Like, I'm not gonna stand there and get punched on and get CTE later on in my life. But at the same time, I do gotta put butts in seats, and I gotta give the fans what they want. But at the same time, I gotta look out for my health first as well. So Shakur got to understand where the fans is coming from, but the fans also got to understand where the boxers is coming from, bro. So it got to be a mutual respect between the two parties, man. That's just how I feel. But all in all, Gervonta Davis was right. All that boxing in the world is not going to save you from getting hit by a power puncher. You're going to get hit, and it's going to be flush eventually. If Tank was in there and hit Shakur the way Dos Santos hit him in that round, who knows? That doesn't mean he would have knocked out Shakur. You hear this all the time. He gonna knock Shakur's head off. Again, if he adapts to a power puncher where to the point where he knows when to trade and when to get out, kind of like how Floyd fought Canelo, he's gonna beat Tank, bro. He's gonna beat him. He already have pretty good defense. All he got to do is show some more dog and more able to take some more risk and stand there and really go head up with somebody. He can't run from power punches every fight the way he did with De Los Santos, or move around, don't engage. He didn't run. I don't like that word run. He just didn't engage with De Los Santos the way we wanted him to. That's really all it is, bro. But I 100% agree with Tank, and I don't really agree with much shit with Tank, but I agree. He kind of was right. He kind of predicted the future. And moving forward, he got a lot to think about. I want to get y'all opinion on this, man. Is Shakur Stevenson chin suspect the reason why he doesn't like power punches or to get hit flush? And, you got to also ask yourself this. If he was afraid of power punches the way people think he is, he would avoid them at all costs. But I think he's just so confident in his defense that he feel like he's never going to get hit flush by these power punches, which is a flawed way to think. He's going to get hit eventually, and all boxers are going to get their chin rocked. Shakur is no different. It's going to happen to him the longer he stays in the sport. He just got to brace for it to get ready. Maybe he need to go to the gym and practice and do some chin exercises. Do those neck exercises. To toughen up his chin and his jaw or something. I don't know, but something gonna have to change. But we'll see. Anyway, this is Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later.